Good morning, traders. This is a live trade recap. I took one trade this morning. I'm going to show you everything that happened in just a moment. I think you should watch this video all the way through because today is another excellent example of why you need to follow your trading plan. First of all, of course, you need to have a trading plan. But if you can't stick to it, you're never, ever going to be green in the long run. Today is a great example of that. So let's first start out by showing you the screener. I like to show you how I pick my stocks. So click on screeners. Then I use my mid-cap stock screener. Click those three dots, click modify. Otherwise, the filters will not be applied. And this is the criteria that I have, or the filters that I have set for my stock screener criteria. Then I organize the list by volume. And at the market open, I'm looking for obviously the stocks that are going up in green, but they must also be on the daily chart. They must be above the 200 MA. So I believe GPS and RLX, or at least RLX for sure, I remember was not above the 200 MA on the daily. So something like that does not go on my chart, even though at the open, it was over 2% gaining. That's the other criteria I'm looking for. They must be gaining over 2%. So let's take a look at the video and we'll see the trade that I took today. So there's GPS. Yeah, you can see it's below the 200 MA. DVAX, that was on the screener. That's obviously above the 200 MA. Let's fast forward here. And then I, of course, mark out the previous session high, whether that be the aftermarket, pre-market, or previous day. And I need to see the price action break above that to indicate that there's real strength, there's real buying power, buying interest in the stock, and then I can look for a trade. So that's what I'm doing with these yellow lines, marking out their previous highs. If I don't see the price trading above those levels, then I don't take a trade. So at some point in the morning, MRO popped up on the screener. It was trading above its previous day high. It was above the 200 MA on the daily chart. It was gaining more than 2% for the day. So all of the screener criteria was met. Now I'm just looking for an entry. It went up since the open without giving a pullback, so I did not miss any entries. I was just checking that the tops of those candles were all at the same high, because you don't necessarily need a red candle to indicate a pullback. You could have a candle open lower and close higher than it opened, but not as high as the previous candle. That would make it a green candle, but still a pullback in my eyes because the price went down as compared to the previous candle. That didn't happen in this case. I was waiting for a red candle, and there it is right there. So there's our red candle, pulls back on that candle. Now that's just a pullback within the candle because obviously the price range of that candle was higher, but this is how I define a pullback. Because sometimes you get a stock that goes straight up at the open and it just gives you one candle to an opportunity of one candle to get in, and you get in and then the thing continues on. So that's kind of an aggressive entry, and my data is showing that, and I'll go over that probably on the Sunday video when we look at my spreadsheet. But let's see what happened on this trade. So this is me just following my plan. The high of this candle is 1189. So if I see 1190, I have to trigger my hotkeys to take a trade. So that's what I'm waiting for. There's 1190. You can see I triggered my hotkeys instantly. Obviously, stock like MRO is moving or moves pretty slow. It's not very volatile. And there's definitely some appeal to that because it's not going to be as risky. You're not going to catch a lot of slippage, things like that. So, and I've traded it many times before, and I'm not sure what my overall win rate is on it or if I'm profitable on MRO overall, but I definitely don't mind trading stocks like this. They're pretty easy to trade. So here we are, and I used my 2-hour calculator, which you can download from my Patreon page. It's patreon.com/tradingarmor, and that gives me my profit target. I just enter my entry price, my stop loss price, and it spits out my profit target at a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio. So my profit target's 1202. Position's 1190, stop loss is 1184. I'm only trading with one single share because we're still test trading this market open trading strategy. We need to get to 100 trades. We're at 80 right now, so we are 80% of the way done with this test trading. Patience is a virtue. And then you see me just checking my SPXL swing trade, moving my stop to the appropriate level. So let's go back to the day trade with MRO. Just fast forwarding here. Look, it's looking really great, looking really strong, looking like I'm going to get hit here on my profit target 1201. That's 1 cent away. If I didn't have discipline, I would probably pull that profit target down. I used to do that kind of thing in the past, and overall, I always ended up red in the long run. Yes, I would guarantee a green trade right now, but in the long run, I would be red. I often had long green streaks doing that as well. I had a 13-day green streak at one point, but still, overall, it was red. Why? Because instead of taking 2R, you're getting 1.5R or 0.9R or whatever. It depends, because when you start pulling it down, usually the price continues down. You have to keep pulling it down a little further, and you end up giving back a lot of profit on the trade. And then when you hold on the next trade that stops you out, you've lost 1R. So that win does not counteract the losses as well. So let's take a look at what happened on this trade. I'm going to fast forward. This was another grueling trade. If you've been watching my videos all week, this week of day trading has been pretty tough. First 2 days were green days, and the last 2 days were red. And this is the 5th day of the week. And look what happened. This thing went up near my profit target by 1 cent, and now it came all the way back down to my position. If I didn't have any discipline, I would just move my stop up and take a break-even trade or something like that. But I have discipline. I follow my plan 100% of the time. So let's see what happens as this trade plays out. My plan says it's not up to me to judge the trade once I'm in it. I only judge the entry. If the entry is good, then I let the trade play out. I mean, once I'm entered the stock, I let the trade play out. You know, there's no going back at that point. You just got to stick to the rules. It's much more important to have discipline than any other trait in trading, at least in my experience. If I start changing my plan on the fly, then all of the data that I collect doesn't mean anything whatsoever. Even if this trade was a winner, then it wouldn't mean anything. So let's see what happens. So now this thing's going up and it's coming back down, and my plan says that at 10:30, if nothing has happened, then I close the platform down, and that's what you see happening here. You can see down here on the clock it's 10:30. I'm still in the middle of this trade. I don't care. I just shut the platform down. I have those bracket orders in place. I don't need to do anything. And one last thing I did was make sure my stop was in the right place on my SPXL swing trade right before I closed the platform down. And then you should see me, well, I think I just stopped the video, but I'll show you what happened in just a moment. So it's just me adjusting my stop, and then so you did see me shut down the platform there. And let's take a look, or maybe not, maybe I just stopped the video, but I did shut down the platform right after that. And let's see what happens with my orders. We'll look at the orders right now, and I can show you on the chart as well. So MRO was the trade of the day. Let me expand this. You can see that that's the only trade I took today, right? This is the 27th. These are trades from yesterday and the day before. So here's MRO. That was the trade we took. We were filled at 11.90, and the stop loss was canceled. We got filled at our profit target at 12:02, and let's see the time, 12:48. So 18 minutes, almost 19 minutes later, the profit target was finally hit. We can look at the chart. Not sure if it's still going to be up on my charts page. It usually resets when I close it down. Oh, maybe so. Yeah, here we go. So where was our target was at 12:02, and right now it's trading at 12:09. It obviously never stopped me out. So it was a winning trade, and only because I stuck to my plan and stuck to my strategy, and that's it. I traded with discipline. So if you have any chance whatsoever of being a profitable trader in the long run, you must be able to stick to your plan, even if your plan is not profitable yet. It's much more important to develop the discipline to follow the plan. Then you can start testing the plan, collecting data. If you get to 100 trades and you find out that the plan is not profitable, then you can start to make some changes. At least in that time, you've developed the necessary discipline to follow the plan. And you've also taken the plan out to 100 trades, which tells you whether or not the plan is really profitable. If you stop after 1 week or a few bad days, you really don't know if what you were doing would work in the long run or not. So that's the best advice I can give to any new trader out there. Start developing a plan, even if it's a very simple, basic plan, and write it down. Start getting in the habit of following 100%. At first, you're just going to have trouble following it at all, even if that's your intention. So that's a skill you have to develop. Then you can follow it. Eventually, you'll be able to follow it 100%. And after you get to that point, you could track it for 100 trades and see if it's profitable or not. So anyway, let me know if you have any questions about this trade or any others. And we're going to look at the spreadsheet in the next video, and I'm going to release that on Sunday. We're going to go over the results so far. This has been a very tough week of day trading for me, so maybe you should try and guess whether or not we're still green on the plan, and you'll find out on Sunday. You might be surprised. So again, let me know if you have any questions about this. And this day trading plan and my spreadsheet, they're also all available at my Patreon page. So that's patreon.com/tradingarmor. As always, go into every single trade with a plan. Stick to that plan no matter what. Always take your stop losses, honor your profit target, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.